Hi, I'm Ania. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. One click from you means more stories can be shared. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers and make a difference. Let's begin. Growing up in Chicago's South Side wasn't easy, but I had one person who always believed in me, my Uncle Robert. He wasn't actually my blood uncle, but my mom's best friend's brother who'd been around since I was born. While my mom Sandra remarried when I was 8 to my stepdad Derek, bringing my stepsister Tiffany into our lives, Uncle Robert remained my constant support. Anya, promise me you'll focus on your education, Uncle Robert would tell me during our Sunday brunches at his favorite diner. Your mind is your greatest asset. I promise, Uncle Rob. I got all A's this semester, I'd reply, sipping on the chocolate milkshakes he always ordered for me. He'd smile. That's my girl. Keep that up, and you'll go further than anyone expects. What I didn't tell him was how things were at home. Mom had changed after marrying Derek. The warm, loving woman who raised me became distant, always trying to please her new husband and stepdaughter. Mom, can you help me with this college application? I'd ask, papers spread across the kitchen table. She'd glance over nervously. Not now, Ania. Tiffany needs help with her dance costume. Maybe tomorrow? Tomorrow never came. Meanwhile, Tiffany got everything. New clothes, dance lessons, her own car at 16. I worked part-time at the local grocery store to save for college. One evening, Derek cornered me in the kitchen. You know, your attitude is really bringing down this family. Your mother and I do everything for you, and you can't even be grateful. Grateful for what exactly? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. I work for everything I have. That's the problem right there, he sneered. You think you're better than us. Not everyone needs college, you know. Pride comes before the fall. Tiffany sauntered in, smirking. Daddy, don't waste your breath. Ania thinks she's special because that old man takes her to breakfast sometimes. That old man has been more family to me than either of you, I snapped. Mom appeared in the doorway. Ania, apologize to your sister right now. Stepsister, I corrected. And no, I won't apologize for speaking the truth. That night, I called my best friend Jasmine in tears. Girl, why do you even stay there? She asked. You're 22, move out. On grocery store wages while trying to finish my degree? Impossible in this economy, I sighed. Just one more year, then I'll have my accounting degree. Your family is toxic, Ania. They're jealous because you're actually going somewhere in life. I didn't know then how prophetic those words would be. 2 months later, I got the call that changed everything. Uncle Robert had died suddenly of a heart attack. I was devastated. He was just fine at brunch last Sunday, I sobbed to Jasmine. We were planning my graduation celebration. I'm so sorry, Annie, she comforted me. He was so proud of you. The funeral was small. My family attended, but mostly for appearances. Mom kept checking her watch. Derek looked bored, and Tiffany spent the entire time on her phone. Can you at least pretend to care? I hissed at Tiffany. She rolled her eyes. It's not like he was really family. Besides, I have cheer practice in an hour. A week later, I received a call from someone named Thomas Grant. Hello, Miss Washington. This is Thomas Grant from Grant Legal Services. I'm handling Robert Carter's estate. Could you come to our offices tomorrow at 10 a.m.? My heart raced. Yes, of course. May I ask what this is regarding? Mr. Carter named you in his will. I'd prefer to discuss the details in person. That night at dinner, I mentioned the call. Why would he put you in his will? Mom asked, suddenly interested. Was he wealthy? Derek leaned forward. Robert owned some real estate, didn't he? Downtown apartments or something? I don't know, I said truthfully. I never asked about his finances. Tiffany snorted. Right. You never asked, but somehow you're in his will. What's that supposed to mean? I challenged. It means, Derek interjected, that people don't just give away money without expecting something in return. I stood up so fast my chair fell backward. Uncle Robert was the only person who supported me without conditions. Don't you dare imply anything else? The next morning, I sat across from Thomas Grant as he explained Uncle Robert's will. Miss Washington, your uncle left you quite substantial assets. 4 apartment buildings in the downtown area, currently valued at approximately $2.8 million total. They're all fully rented with long-term tenants, managed by Highland Property Management. He also left you $50,000 in cash and his collection of first edition books. I couldn't breathe. But why me? Why not his sister? Thomas smiled gently. Mr. Carter was very specific. He said, and I quote, "Anya has shown the character, intelligence, and determination that I value above all else. She will steward these assets wisely. He also left a letter for you." With shaking hands, I opened the envelope. "My dear Ania," it read, "if you're reading this, our Sunday brunches have come to an end. Don't be sad. Instead, remember what we discussed about building a foundation for your future. I never had children of my own, but in you, I found the daughter I would have been proud to have. These properties were my life's work. They're not just buildings. They represent freedom and possibilities. Use them wisely, finish your education, and never let anyone make you feel small again. You've always been destined for greatness. All my love, Uncle Rob." Tears streamed down my face as Thomas handed me the property deeds and account information. "Take some time to process this," he advised. "The management company will continue handling day-to-day operations until you decide otherwise." When I returned home that afternoon, everyone was waiting. Mom, Derek, Tiffany, and even Derek's brother Marcus, who somehow always appeared when money was involved. "Well?" Mom demanded as soon as I walked in. "What did he leave you?" Taking a deep breath, I looked them in the eyes and said, "Uncle Robert left me 4 apartment buildings downtown, $50,000, and his book collection." Their faces went white. The silence was deafening until Derek laughed nervously. 4 apartments? Like 4 units in a building? "No," I stated clearly. 4 apartment buildings, with 12 units each, worth about $2.8 million total. Tiffany's phone slipped from her hand. Mom covered her mouth. Marcus whistled low. That's wonderful, sweetie," Mom said, her voice suddenly honey-sweet. "We're so happy for you." "Are you?" I asked. "Because an hour ago you were implying I earned this through improper means." Derek stepped forward. "Now, Anya, we were just surprised. Obviously, Robert saw what we've always seen, how special you are." I almost laughed at the sudden transformation. "Really? Because for the last 14 years, I've been the family disappointment." "You're being dramatic," Tiffany scoffed, but her eyes kept darting to my paperwork. "Am I? Last week you called my accounting degree a waste of time. Now suddenly I'm special?" Mom approached with outstretched arms. "Honey, families disagree sometimes. We've always wanted the best for you." I stepped back. "The best? You let Derek belittle me. You chose Tiffany every single time. You watched me work myself to exhaustion while paying for her dance lessons and car." "Now wait just a minute," Derek interjected. "We've provided a roof over your head." "That I've paid rent for since I was 18, I reminded him. $300 a month from my grocery store job, remember? While Tiffany's never paid a dime. Marcus, ever the opportunist, spoke up. "Look, Anya, property management is complicated. I have experience in real estate. I could help you manage these buildings, maybe as a partner." "No, thank you," I replied coolly. "They're already professionally managed." "Family should stick together," Mom insisted. "Maybe we could all benefit from this blessing." I raised an eyebrow. "How exactly did you imagine that working?" Derek cleared his throat. "Well, we've been wanting to renovate the house, and Tiffany's college tuition is coming up." "So you want me to pay for Tiffany's college when you told me getting a degree was pointless?" I interrupted. "That's different," Mom protested. "Family helps family." "Where was that attitude when I needed help?" I asked quietly. Over the next week, the atmosphere at home became unbearable. Suddenly, everyone wanted to spend time with me. Mom cooked my favorite meals. Derek asked about my career plans with newfound interest. Tiffany actually acknowledged my existence. "Ania," Tiffany cornered me in the hallway. I've been thinking about what you said. You're right. I haven't appreciated you enough. But we're sisters. Stepsisters, I corrected. That doesn't matter. Blood doesn't make family. Look, I'm really sorry for how I've treated you. I studied her face. What exactly do you want, Tiffany? She hesitated. Well, prom is coming up, and there's this dress I love. And there it is, I sighed. You don't want a relationship. You want a dress. The manipulation continued. Mom found old family photos featuring me. Derek mentioned investment opportunities that we could explore together. The final straw came when I overheard them in the kitchen. We need to convince her to put the properties in the family trust, Derek was saying. Once they're in, she can't just take them back. She's being so stubborn, Mom complained, after everything we've done for her. Just keep playing nice, Derek advised. She'll come around. Nobody turns their back on family. That evening, I called Jasmine. They're unbelievable, she exclaimed after I filled her in. What are you going to do? I'm moving out, tomorrow. I've already found an apartment in one of Uncle Robert's buildings. Good. You should have done it years ago. I know, but now I need to confront them first. The next morning, I gathered everyone in the living room. I have an announcement, I began. I'm moving out today. I've paid rent through the end of the month, so we're square. Moving out, Mom repeated. But why? We're just starting to come together as a family. No, we're not. You're just starting to see me as useful. Derek scoffed. That's ridiculous. We've always supported you. Really? Let's review. You criticized my education goals. You favored Tiffany in every situation. You made me pay rent while she lived free. And now you're plotting to get my inheritance into your family trust. Their shocked faces confirmed they hadn't expected me to know about their plan. I heard you last night, I continued. And it finally made everything clear. You don't care about me. You care about what I can give you. That's not fair, Mom protested weakly. Isn't it? Tiffany, what color was my prom dress? Tiffany blinked. What? Simple question. What color was my prom dress? Blue? I didn't go to prom. I worked that night because you needed $300 for your hair and nails. Ania, people make mistakes, Derek started. Not mistakes. Choices. You chose to treat me like an outsider for 14 years. Now I'm choosing to leave. Mom began to cry. Please, honey, we can work this out. There's nothing to work out. I'm not giving you access to my inheritance. I'm not funding Tiffany's education or your home renovations. I'm going to finish my degree, manage my properties, and build the life Uncle Robert believed I deserved. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us? Derek shouted, his nice guy facade crumbling. You did the bare minimum and expected gratitude. That ends today. I walked out with my 2 suitcases and never looked back. 6 months later, I was thriving. I'd moved into one of my buildings, finished my accounting degree with honors, and started learning property management from Highland, gradually taking over some responsibilities. My family's fortunes moved in the opposite direction. Derek had been counting on my inheritance to cover his gambling debts. When that fell through, his creditors came calling. They had to sell their house and move to a small apartment. Tiffany couldn't afford her dream college without my help and had to settle for community college. Mom finally left Derek after discovering he'd mortgaged everything they owned. One rainy Tuesday, there was a knock on my door. Mom stood there looking older and tired. Ania, she said softly. Can we talk? I let her in, and we sat in awkward silence before she spoke. I failed you, she admitted, tears in her eyes. I chose a man and his daughter over my own child. I have no excuse. Why are you here, Mom? I asked directly. Not for money, she said quickly. I got a job as a receptionist. I'm making it on my own. She paused. I miss you. I miss who we were before Derek. I miss who I was. I miss that too, I admitted. I don't expect forgiveness, she continued. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Truly sorry, and I'm trying to be better. I studied her face, searching for signs of manipulation but finding only regret. I can't just forget everything that happened, I told her. I know, she nodded. I just hope someday we might have coffee together. Start small. As she stood to leave, I made a decision. Mom, there's a diner around the corner. They have good coffee. Her smile was tentative but real. I'd like that. We didn't become close overnight. Trust rebuilds slowly, if at all. But sitting across from her that day, I realized Uncle Robert's gift wasn't just financial freedom. It was the chance to rewrite my story on my own terms, to choose who belonged in my life and under what conditions. Last month, Jasmine and I were having dinner at my place when my phone rang. It was Tiffany. Ania, please don't hang up, she begged. I need to talk to you. About what? I asked warily. I've been doing a lot of thinking since you left, she said, her voice trembling. Dad's gambling got worse after you moved out. He lost everything. Mom was right to leave him. I'm sorry to hear that, I said, genuinely meaning it. But why are you calling me now? Because I owe you an apology, she said. A real one. Not like before when I just wanted something. I was horrible to you for years. I was spoiled and entitled, and I'm trying to change. Jasmine raised an eyebrow as I put the call on speaker. What do you want from me, Tiffany? I asked, not unkindly. Nothing. Really, nothing, she insisted. I just needed you to know I'm sorry. Mom told me you two have coffee sometimes. Maybe someday we could join you? No pressure. I'll understand if you say no. After we hung up, Jasmine looked at me. Are you going to give her another chance? I shrugged. Maybe. Eventually. On my terms. As for Derek and his brother Marcus, I heard they moved to Arizona after the divorce. Some lessons are learned too late, and some relationships aren't worth saving. I chose to invest my energy in people who valued me before I had anything to offer. So let me ask you this. If someone suddenly treated you differently because your circumstances changed, would you keep them in your life? Or would you see their behavior as the gift it truly is, the clear revelation of who they really are?